Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. Hi, I'm Saoz, an IT specialist and a proud member of the web development team. Today I'm diving into a fascinating and somewhat controversial topic: browser extensions for ethical hacking. These tools can transform an ordinary web browser into a powerful assistant for ethical hackers, enhancing security assessments and penetration testing. Now, before we get started, let me just say that we're talking about ethical hacking here. So if you're thinking about using this information for anything illegal, just click away now. All right, with that out of the way, let's get into my top 10 picks for ethical hacking browser extensions. First up, we've got Wappalyzer. This extension is a must-have for any ethical hacker. You install it in your browser and boom, it tells you exactly what technologies a website is built on. We're talking frameworks, content management systems, programming languages, you name it. Imagine you're a security consultant hired to test a company's website. Wappalyzer gives you that initial reconnaissance. Let's say Wappalyzer tells you the website is running on WordPress. Now you know where to start looking for vulnerabilities. It's like a blueprint for understanding the website's architecture. So yeah, Wappalyzer is a no-brainer. Go get it, you won't regret it. Next up, we've got FoxyProxy, and let me tell you, if you're serious about ethical hacking, you need to master the art of proxies. Proxies are like those secret tunnels that let you access the internet from a different location, making it look like you're browsing from somewhere else. Why is that useful? Well, for starters, some websites restrict access based on your location. With a proxy, you can bypass those restrictions and see how the website looks to someone in a different part of the world. Proxies can also help you protect your identity online, which is crucial when you're poking around websites looking for vulnerabilities. And that's where FoxyProxy comes in. It makes managing multiple proxies a breeze. You can switch between different proxy configurations with just a few clicks. Trust me, once you start using FoxyProxy, you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. All right, let's talk about cookies. No, not the delicious kind. Although I wouldn't say no to a cookie right now. I'm talking about browser cookies, those tiny little files that websites store on your computer to track your activity and remember your preferences. Now, cookies themselves aren't inherently bad. They make our online lives easier, but they can also be exploited by malicious actors. And that's where Edit This Cookie comes in. This extension gives you complete control over cookies. You can view them, edit them, delete them, you name it. For ethical hackers, this is pure gold. You can use Edit This Cookie to see what information a website is storing about you. Of course, with great power comes great responsibility, so please use Edit This Cookie ethically. Chapter 4. User Agent Switcher, Becoming a Digital Chameleon. Ever wonder what a website looks like on a different browser or device? Well, wonder no more. With User Agent Switcher, you can transform your browser into practically any device you can imagine. A user agent is basically a little message that your browser sends to a website, telling it what kind of browser and operating system you're using. User Agent Switcher lets you change that message, making it look like you're browsing from a different device altogether. So why is this useful for ethical hacking? Well, for starters, it lets you see how a website responds to different browsers and devices. Some websites might serve different content or functionality depending on your browser or device. User Agent Switcher lets you test both versions to make sure they're both secure. By changing your user agent, you can sometimes bypass these restrictions. Chapter 5, NoScript, the JavaScript Silencer. All right, let's talk about JavaScript. Now, JavaScript is a powerful language that makes the web more interactive and dynamic, but it can also be used for malicious purposes. That's where NoScript comes in. NoScript is a browser extension that blocks active web content like JavaScript, Flash, and Java. It's like putting your browser on lockdown, only allowing trusted websites to run scripts. NoScript lets you see what's happening behind the scenes, what's loading up without your explicit permission. For ethical hackers, NoScript is a powerful tool for testing a website's security. By blocking JavaScript, you can see how the website behaves when its scripts are disabled. Chapter 6. Shodan, the hacker's search engine. Now, this next one is a bit different. We're not talking about a typical browser extension here. We're talking about Shodan. You might have heard of it. It's been called the scariest search engine on the internet, but trust me, in the right hands, Shodan is an incredibly powerful tool for good. Basically, Shodan scans the entire internet for devices and servers, indexing them based on their open ports, software versions, and even the banners they display. The Shodan extension integrates this power directly into your browser. You can be browsing a website and instantly pull up Shodan information about the server it's hosted on. By understanding how Shodan works, we can better protect ourselves and our systems from attack. All right, let's get down to some nitty-gritty hacking stuff. Ever come across a chunk of code that looks like complete gibberish? It might be encoded or encrypted. That's where D3Coder comes in. D3Coder is a browser extension that makes it super easy to decode and encode strings. It supports a ton of different formats, including base64, URL encoding, and even some hashing algorithms. Why is this useful for ethical hacking? Well, sometimes sensitive information like passwords or API keys might be hidden in plain sight, just encoded in a way that makes it difficult to read. D3Coder lets you quickly decode these strings and see what's really going on. You can also use D3Coder to encode your own strings, which can be useful for testing input validation or bypassing security filters. In the right hands, it's a powerful tool for ethical hacking and security research. All right, let's talk about HackBar. This extension is like the Swiss Army knife of ethical hacking tools. It's got a little bit of everything, and it's all easily accessible right from your browser toolbar. One of HackBar's most useful features is its ability to easily manipulate URLs and parameters. This is essential for testing for vulnerabilities like SQL injection and cross-site scripting. With HackBar, you can easily modify the URL or parameters of a request to see if you can trigger one of these vulnerabilities. HackBar can also encode and decode strings, send different HTTP methods, and set custom headers. HackBar is a great tool for both beginners and experienced ethical hackers. All right, now we're getting into some serious ethical hacking territory. Tamper Data is a powerful extension that lets you intercept and modify HTTPS traffic between your browser and a website. Think of it like a traffic controller for your web traffic. You can see every single request and response, and you can even modify them on the fly. This is incredibly useful for understanding how a web application works and for testing for vulnerabilities. For example, let's say you're testing a login form with Tamper Data. You can intercept the login request and modify the username and password being sent to the server. Tamper Data can also be used for debugging web applications. In the right hands, it's an invaluable tool for ethical hacking and web development. And last but not least, we have Built-with Technology Profiler. Now, you might be thinking, didn't we already cover this with Wappalyzer? And you'd be right. Both extensions essentially do the same thing. They tell you what technologies a website is using. But here's the thing. It never hurts to have a second opinion, especially when it comes to security. Built-with and Wappalyzer use different methods to identify web technologies, so it's possible that one might pick up something that the other misses. Built-with often provides more detailed information about the technologies being used, including version numbers and specific components. So even though it might seem like overkill to have both Wappalyzer and Built-with installed, I highly recommend it. And there you have it, folks. Those are my top 10 ethical hacking browser extensions. These tools, when used responsibly, can be absolute game changers in the world of ethical hacking. But with great power comes great responsibility. Remember, these tools should only be used for ethical purposes, like security testing and research. Using them for any illegal activity is not only wrong, it's also a good way to get yourself into a lot of trouble. Drop a comment down below and let's discuss.